Oh, listen.
So I don't have all day to sit on Instagram and be looking at people that, I mean, I get on, I post, I do my job, my marketing, and I get off.
Okay. For those that are just joining you guys, tonight Julian Lark is going to be speaking to us about Branding 101. Julian, for those of you who don't know, and you should know, is one of the biggest figures out of Atlanta. He actually is the publisher and owner of Control Magazine. He created and founded the magazine. He is also the owner of the Julian Richard Group, which does branding for some serious companies and major clientele. He's a celebrity stylist, and he is the owner of Control Brides and Control Homes. So Julian is a master of branding. So y'all are going to get quite an earful of tonight with information that normally he charges for, but he's giving it to y'all for free. So if you tune in tonight, you are going to get some real knowledge, and you need it. So Julian, one of the things,
and I do charge $300 an hour.
That part, $300 an hour. I wish y'all understand that.
$300 an hour, and $150 for every 30 minutes after.
$150 for every 30 minminutes after.
For every 30 minutes after. So if you go over your hour, it's so automatic $150.
Well, let me tell you something. I'm here for it. I'm here for the whole situation. I mean, because the thing about it is, no, you shouldn't give advice free, especially when you are expert at what you're doing. And when you've helped brands grow into the hundreds and thousands of millions of dollars, that's an amazing feat to be able to say. So what I want to ask you, my first question is, because a lot of people use these two words interchangeably, business and brand. Can you please explain the difference between the two and why they need to stop using them interchangeably?
Yes. People have a real bad habit of running around saying that they have a brand. And I'm sorry to say that most of them don't have brands. Most of them have businesses. But there is a very, very big difference between a brand and a business. Most of them have businesses, and the reason I say they have businesses is because literally they have Facebook, they have Instagram, they have Pinterest and Twitter, LinkedIn, and when they get their products or whatever they're selling, 9 times out of 10, majority of the companies are literally taking the stock images that the company has provided them, and they're using that to post onto their platforms. And that's all they're doing. They're literally just posting on their platforms. They're not actually building something that connects with a certain customer. So when you have a brand, you are literally taking your product, whatever it is, whether it is you selling women's clothing, whether it's you selling hair, whether it's you selling nail polish, whether it's you doing makeup, whether it's you're a wardrobe stylist, writer, whatever. You're literally, you have a demographic of a person or people that you are trying to connect to. Everybody is not your customer when you have a brand. Your brand is specified to a certain group of people. And you're literally building on that for those people. You're building on your brand, so you're creating ads. You're literally sitting down and saying, the person who buys my product shops here. The person who buys my product eats here. They do this. They make between this much money a year. They have this many kids or no kids at all. You're literally sitting down and you're figuring out who you're targeting. And and you're literally taking your brand, whatever your product is, and you're literally developing it for those people.
So pretty much a brand is more of a lifestyle. You take your product and you kind of suit it to the person that you're targeting.
Yes, to a degree, yes. So you're literally, so I have a cosmetics line, Rebel by Julian Lark. Rebel by Julian Lark was never meant to be for the girl who shops at Walmart. When I put Rebel by Julian Lark out, I set a tone for, I wanted my makeup line to be a mix between MAC and CoverGirl. But I wanted to be, well, I take that back. More Dolce & Gabbana cosmetics and MAC cosmetics. And when I created the product line, every time I created or came out with a collection, I did a photo shoot and I created an ad that felt or gave off to a lifestyle of who that girl was. So the girl that bought my product, she would live in this type of house. So we shot in that type of house. She would have on this type of dress or this type of garment. So all the models had that type of garment. It fit to who my customer was. So no, if people came up to me and said, why your lip gloss $18? Everybody else is over here is 10. I'm not putting my stuff for everybody else. Everybody else ain't meant to wear my product. So if you like $10 makeup, you go buy $10 makeup.
Right.
My clients don't ask well, why the product at $18? My client are looking at how I have made them feel. They see themselves in the product. They see themselves using the product. So they literally buy the product.
Can we backtrack real quick to how rude that is? Can we backtrack how rude that is to question somebody about a product that they're selling?
Oh, you get that all. People are rude. People are rude and disrespectful. People are rude and disrespectful all day long and feel like they have a right to question and ask somebody about their pricing. My price is my price. If you can't afford my price and you don't like my price, you're not my customer. Period. There is no room for negotiation. This is not a negotiation. I'm not selling my product at the flea market. So we're not negotiating. We sat down and we created pricing. We sat down and created and developed what our brand is. So if you don't like that, again, you're not my customer.
So how do you base a price point for like your said product? Because the price point does a lot of times dictate the type of customer that you're gonna have.
I'm basing my price point by what the woman or whoever my client is or whoever I'm developing this for, what she buys. She might spend $30 on lipstick. So if she spends $30 on a lipstick, I can charge $50. Because if she'll spend $30, she'll pay $50.
Yeah.
So I already know, and I know she makes she makes between a certain amount of money a year. So she's not looking at it. So it's like, you ever had enough money in your pocket where you walk into the store and you see something you want and you don't really even look at a price?
Yeah.
It's one of the most beautiful feelings in the world.
It is.
Literally just walk in the store and literally grab what you want off the shelf. It doesn't matter how much it costs. It doesn't matter what that price says. You're not really paying attention. You know you want it. So it doesn't really matter. You get it. And those are my clients. My clients are who I am catering my product to. I'm catering my product to a woman who literally feels that this lipstick or this product makes her feel beautiful. She wants it, so she's gonna get it. Or with anybody's brand, that's what they should be doing. They should really be sitting down and saying, well, who's my customer? How much money does she make? Where does she live? What zip code does she live in? Does she have kids? Is she married? Or is he married? Does he have children? Does he have a dog? So even with me developing Control Magazine, I sat down and decided, hey, the woman that's going to read Control Magazine lives here. She doesn't have kids, or she may have one. She might be a single mother. She's not necessarily married. She has this much money. She's an entrepreneur. She's a go-getter, but she's a fashionista.
I love that.
I literally sit down and developed who that woman is.
I love that. I love that. No, I'm saying I love that because once you figure that out, it branches out into everything else that you do. Like even when it comes to your social media, even when it comes to throwing events, even when it comes to the people that she want to interview and work with, because that's who she want to hear from. She wants to hear from Regina and Viola Davis and the greats.
Because once you figured out who your brand is targeting to, everything else should literally fall into place. Everything that you're doing from ad campaign to how you even speak on social media. When we were developing Control Magazine and first coming out of the gate, we made sure that when we were on social media, we made sure that we sounded like a female. We talked. We tried to make sure that we talked how a female would talk.
Giving you a Gossip Girl voice.
Right, yeah, like pretty much like a Gossip Girl. You want to make sure, I mean, your following, is she's going to talk like this. She's going to speak like this. So we made sure we did those things. We made sure that, even went down to the styling, I made sure that if this is the people that we're pushing for, she's not going over here and buying the dress out of Zara directly and just wearing Zara. She might buy the dress from Zara, but she might be in a Louboutin.
Okay, I can see that.
And you have celebrities that do that. I remember when I was filming Braxton Family Values, me, Tamar, Trina, Tawanda would literally run up in H&M and grab something real quick. And then they literally throw it on and with a Louboutin or YSL or whatever. But it's basically showing high and low fashion.
Okay, so why do so many people get so confused when it comes to branding and business?
Because they don't educate themselves. These people have IG degrees.
Oh.
And
IG degrees?
I would really like Instagram to stop giving out degrees because you got people out here looking stupid. People aren't really taking the time to develop and educate themselves on their business. Now, let me backtrack and say, as a race, I feel like we were never taught certain things. Our mothers and fathers were not taught how to build businesses. They were taught to go get 9 to 5s and make sure you've got a good job so that you can get health benefits X, Y, Z. But we don't live in that era, so we're doing things a little bit different. But if you're going to do things different and you're going to actually come out and try to start a business, you have to actually educate yourself on that business. And it is your responsibility to educate yourself on that business. You can't sit around and say, oh, nobody told me that. Nobody's supposed to tell you. Technically,
it's your business. Your business is like your
business. That's why it's called your business. Because it's yours. So that means you literally need to be all to your business. You need to be learning how your business works. And you cannot make this shit up.
Let me ask you a question.
There's a blueprint for everything in the world and how it moves and how it runs. And people feel like they can. Okay.
So what are the basics that you would say like every brand needs? Like just the very basics. Like, okay, girl, you should already have this coming from the jump if you're saying that you're a brand.
The number one thing is actually you should have brand colors. So literally everything that you put out from your flyers to T-shirts and coloring that you do or whatnot, all should be in your brand coloring. Those colors should be uniform across the block. You should have 2 logos, a first logo and a secondary logo. But those logos intertwine. Not one over here in bold and cursive and you got something else extra going on and then you got something over here that don't look like it belongs with this. It has to intertwine. And then you need a website. Most real people who are spending real money and people who are doing real business have websites. Nobody's taking the time out to look at your IG page and looking at your Facebook page. I know for me, when I deal with companies like Fox, or I'm dealing with a company like HBO Max, or I'm dealing with OWN or Tyler Perry Studios, and we're booking a photo shoot for Control Magazine, and they want to know who the makeup artist is, and they want to know who the hairstylist is, they don't want their Instagram pages. They want their websites.
Because the website's of business.
They specifically say don't send that over.
I see you just the whole business website.
Yeah, they want to see your website. Your website is an extension of your brand. Because at the end of the day, people have to understand it, and people have to really think. Instagram does not belong to you. Facebook does not belong to you. Hell, Shopify, Squarespace, Wix, that don't belong to you. So if that company decides to fold at 4 a.m. in the morning, they're not picking up the phone to call you and tell you.
At all.
Your shit's gone. If it gets deleted tomorrow, your stuff is gone. And most people don't think like that. They're not thinking that, oh, I got Wix right now. It's the easy thing for me to do. It's quick for me to do. I can just do it myself. And I ain't really got to pay nobody to do it. But if they fold, where your stuff going to be?
What are you going to do about that? You need to back up.
Right. You have literally, it's, I'm not going to say it's dumb, but if someone is giving you the information to tell you, hey, you can do this, but you would be better off doing this, you should kind of, if you're not going to listen, go and do your own research. And I will say, and be very honest with saying, I've had a Wix website, I've had a Squarespace website, I've had a Shopify website. And the conversation that I'm having right now with you, my brother had with me. And everything I'm saying that you shouldn't be doing, I told him I wasn't changing. I was going to stay on Wix. I was going to stay on Squarespace. I was going to stay on Shopify because I just didn't feel like doing all that. But guess what? I ended up having to change my shit because I learned. But if I would listen when he told me, instead of being a hard head, it would have saved me a lot of time and a lot of trouble, because having to actually take all that stuff off that platform and now go and put it on my own platform, that's a lot of work. And it's very time-consuming and it's very tedious.
It is. And it can be very expensive too, depending on who you're going with.
It can be very expensive. Very expensive. And if you're an entrepreneur, you don't have money like that. You don't have money to waste.
Goes down.
Right. One of the big things I say is time is money and money is time, and I don't have none to waste. And nobody's going to waste mine. Period.
At all, period.
At all. We're not doing that, because every dollar that I have or every dollar that I make goes into my business. There is no 401k over here. There is no backup plan. I don't get no sick days. I don't get no holidays. I work 7 days a week. And every dime that I get has to go into my business if I want it to be something.
And then you have so many different brands that you do your own brands and other people's brands. So how do you find ways to manage that? As a matter of fact, let's go ahead and talk about the Julian Richard Group, because that's your branding company where you actually brand brands. Like, can you tell us about how you formed that and why you did?
So in 2019, I had a web developer doing Control's website, and I reached out to them to take care of some stuff on Control's website. They gave me their price. I agreed to the price. For 4 days, I chased that person down through text messages, through phone calls, to the point where I was like, why the fuck am I chasing this nigga down to give him my money? Like, I'm not going to chase you down to give you my money.
Right.
Now, I'm not going to do. That was the smartest thing I ever did, because I literally kept my money in my pocket, got my butt out of the seat, and I started to learn how to build websites. And I taught myself how to build websites. I taught myself how to actually develop and create a branding company. Now, let me also say, I don't have an IG degree. I have a real degree. I have a BA in fashion design and marketing from the American Institute of University. I don't just do fashion. I do fashion. I do marketing. I have a real degree. I went to school for fashion, and I went to school for marketing. I just never really dove into my marketing like that, because fashion was always the forefront. But during COVID, like everybody else, well, like I said, at the end of 2019, that's when I started to really start teaching myself. But when COVID hit, I had nothing but time. So I literally set my butt down, and I taught myself how to build websites. And best thing I ever could have did, because literally within a year of launching the Julian Richard Group, I literally increased my business by 58%.
By how much?
By 58% in a year.
Oh, wow.
I was doing $4,000. I did $4,000 in 2 days. Literally from a branding company that I started during COVID. COVID was my most successful year of business.
You know what? That's pretty dope. That's something I've heard from a good number of people, where they say, and I always tell people, take your broken heart and turn it into art. 2020 was a rough year for all of us. And some of us came out.
Yeah, 2020, yeah, it was a rough year. I always tell people it's a good and bad. Like, yes, 2020 was tough. No, we could not get out and do a lot of stuff, but I feel like it gave entrepreneurs a chance to, if you had a business, it gave you an opportunity to really get your shit together.
Absolutely.
And I can't speak for anybody else, but I know for me, COVID opened my eyes to let me know that my shit stinks. COVID let me know that what I thought I was doing, I really wasn't doing shit. And so if I wanted to come back and be stronger and be better at what I was doing,
stronger and better. We got to do it Monday.
I either need to start over, or I need to go in and fix my cracks. So literally, that's what I've been doing for the past 2 years. Is I've been mending the boards and the taping shit up and putting it back together and redeveloping and learning how to run my business. Even with me learning to do the website, smartest thing I ever did. You know why? Because I would be the person who would literally say, I ain't doing that. I'm going to pay somebody to do that. That would be me.
That used to be me.
I'm going to pay somebody to do that. But guess what? Me just paying somebody to do my website looks beautiful on the outside, but when I actually went into my website,
it was trash.
Bullshit. Bullshit. Straight bullshit. It was a hot mess. And honestly, a lot of it I didn't understand. So because of that, it's taken me even longer to do to push out a lot of the projects that I had or that I was trying to put out, because my house is beautiful on the outside. She looks great. But on the inside, she's sick.
You need some structure. You need some restructuring, some rebranding.
But I now know that if I do decide to hire somebody else to come over here and run this, I now know what it's supposed to look like. I now know if I go back in and they do something, what's happening. And I think that's the biggest thing as African Americans. We're really quick to say, I'll just pay somebody to do that. But,
you know what I think that comes from? I think that comes from instant gratification. I know a lot of times you talk about people wanting to rush the process. That's a process you have to plan, you have to outline, you have to lay out, and then execute. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Well, it's like having a baby. When you pop out a baby, they don't go to jumping, skipping, and hopping. So what makes you think you can? Everybody, every now and then, I feel like you might get somebody who just jumps and becomes that star. But guess what? That ain't everybody's destiny. That's not how everybody is going to move. Right. You have to understand that you have to crawl before you walk. As a baby, you crawl, you walk, you skip, you hop, you jump, you dance, you boogie.
It's a process. You grow.
It's a process.
Yeah.
And people literally want to jump and just get out here, oh, because I got an Instagram page, I got a Facebook page, I got a business, I got a brand, I got a whole brand. People will argue with you, I got a brand. No, baby, you don't. You don't have a brand. You confused.
What are some really good brands that you consider to be amazing with how they push their product and their branding?
Okay, so entrepreneurial brands that I think do an amazing job at pushing their brands. Issa Rae, Derek Banks, Ivy Showroom, Ming Lee. All of those people started out as one thing, and they have developed and built their brand following a blueprint. There's a blueprint for what you're trying to do, whatever it is. There's a blueprint, but we so busy trying to do what we want to do and move how we want to move, and I want to create this, create that. You're making yourself work harder. Because you have to think about, again, who your target audience is. What are some companies you want to work with in the future? People are so quick to just literally feel like, well, I don't have that much of this or I don't have that much of that. I'm just not starting out. Forget that. Stop playing checkers. Stop playing checkers. Learn to play chess. Learn to figure out what your end game is and move like you're already there. When I developed Control, the idea was for Control to literally look and be comparable to a Vogue, an Ale, a Harper's Bazaar, or anything in that realm. If it didn't look like that,
you didn't want it.
I didn't want it. We needed to start over. It needed to be scrapped. It needed to be that when we came out, we literally gave you something that you weren't getting in Essence. You still don't get in Essence. You're not getting at Ebony. You're not getting at Sister to Sister. Love all those publications, but they don't do what we do.
Right.
They have their moment to do that, but they don't. We give you something that you're going to look at a Vogue and an Ale and feel like, I get that feeling and that vibe from Control.
That's amazing.
That's what our brand is. So no, we're not working with everybody. We don't work with everybody. I turn down people left and right. I don't care how big they are. I don't care what reality show they're on. If they don't fit our brand, I'm not working with them. It has to fit the brand.
I would testify to that, y'all. It's been some people that have came across the desk, and I'm like, yo, So they got this
Nope.
many followers, and are they on this show? He be like,
Nope.
no,
Don't care. Don't
we're
care.
not blogging about them. No, Mike.
Don't
We
care.
talk about it, but we're not gonna do that type of stuff with them.
Don't put them on my site. Nope.
Oh,
Don't
okay.
care. I don't care if they're in the shade room. I don't care if everybody here talking about them. I don't care if everybody listening to them. Guess what? Everybody ain't for my brand.
And that's true. You have to really like know your audience, because I know it sometimes, like when I was originally doing Hey Mikey ATL, you was like, okay, you have no brand. You need to figure this out. You kind of all over the place. And you was like, it's too much of everybody else. It's not enough of you. Nobody is getting to know you. Nobody knows who you are. Nobody can see you through all these articles.
Yeah.
Who are you?
People gravitate, as entrepreneurs, people think, oh, I got a dope product, that people are gravitating to my product because I got a dope product. That's not why people are buying your product. People are buying your product. As an entrepreneur, we don't have that bank to go out here and do that big marketing campaign that just don't get people to buy my product. People are buying your product because they like you. People are buying your product because they want to be close to you. They want to feel and feel like they have a part of what you have going on, and they're a part of that also. So that's why I tell people, stop doing 2 social media pages. Yes, create a social media page for your brand, but until that way you have it already locked down. But until your brand actually builds, or your business actually builds, and you have a strong following, post everything on your page. Because guess what? You're posting on your business page and you get 3 likes. But when you take that same photo and post on your page, you get 200 likes.
Right.
Why would you keep posting over here and only getting 3, and you're getting 200 over here? I'm
dealing with that now.
You gotta think like, and the crazy part is, yes, we don't have a lot of money. We don't have a lot of, you have everything you need to launch a business. Everything you need literally is in your hand every single day. And you sit down and you watch it every single day. But y'all have to stop looking at things as entertainment boxes and ways to just talk. This little thing right here is powerful.
Very.
That
extreme.
television you're watching is powerful. And if you don't utilize it for more than just having a good time, you're literally wasting your time and all your customers' time. Because everything that you want to know about your business is right here on Google. Everything that you want to know about being a stylist, being a makeup artist, you probably sitting down watching. They're probably sitting there telling you while you're watching America's Next Top Model, while you're sitting down watching Project Runway. They're giving you information. They're giving you knowledge that y'all don't even utilize. I remember when I was kind of like really trying to get my stuff out there with styling. At the time, I was married, and I told my husband for Christmas I wanted the whole Rachel's Zoe DVD collection, and all I wanted was fashion books that I could actually learn and study from. That's all I wanted for Christmas that year. Anybody was buying me something, it needed to be something dealing with my business that was going to educate me and teach me something. So I loved it. I would sit and watch Rachel Zoe's show, and when she walked into a showroom, I paused. I pulled out my phone, and I wrote down the name of the showroom. I wrote down the name of the designer. And when the show was done, I got on my phone, I got on my laptop, and I'm Googling. And I'm figuring out who they are. And I'm figuring out what they do, and do their brand fit my brand? Can I use them for my customers? That's how you use television, because guess what? Black people feel like they can't help other black people get to the top. That's dumb too.
Why is that? I mean, because
people feel like they don't want somebody to get past where they are.
You know, I think Lala Milan said it best. She said, it's so much stage. It's so much room for everybody. And we're all fighting over that one piece of the stage. And, you know, I just don't get it.
Well, the thing about it is people are fighting for something that don't belong to them. People fighting for where they want to be. Unfortunately, where you want to be doesn't matter. It's where God wants you to be. And if you're not walking in your purpose, that's number one mistake. And what God has planned for somebody else's life, that ain't got nothing to do with you.
At all.
You can't get mad if somebody surpassed you. You can't get mad if somebody's doing better than you. Guess what? That ain't your problem. Stop worrying about what somebody else is doing. Stop looking at what they're doing. YouTube, people are so busy fertilizing and watering other people's grass that their shit is withering away. Stop worrying about what other people got going on. Focus on your brand, focus on your business, and build that and watch it grow. Because people are so busy, oh, I want to go here and I want to do this, I want to do that. That person do it. That ain't got nothing to do with you.
Nothing to do
God
with
has already ordained what their life is supposed to be. He's already ordained what your life is supposed to be. But you're taking a detour from his plan to go over here and try to be on her plan, and you don't realize that you're screwing up yours.
Absolutely.
But that's a hard lesson to learn. Everybody don't get that. It took me a long time to get that.
It took me a long time to get it. I didn't get it until last year, until late last year when I sat down and I said, why am I destroying myself trying to go into places, streets, alleys, and lanes that I have no business being in?
That part.
That's not what I need to be doing. Yeah. What do I need to do for myself?
Do you follow? People ask me all the time, do you follow this side? Do you like this side? Yeah, I follow them, but I don't look at their work like that.
Right.
I can't be worried about what they're doing. My biggest thing for me has always been level up on what I did the year before. That's how I literally try to level up on what I've already done. If I'm not leveling up on what I've already done, then I'm stagnant. I'm stale. And that don't do nothing for me. That don't put money in my pocket. Not the type of money that I want or where I'm trying to go. Like, for me, as a wardrobe, people laugh at me as a wardrobe stylist. They don't want to hire me as a wardrobe stylist in Atlanta. I don't care. I'm not doing bodycon dresses all day and all night. Not doing it. I'm not getting looks from Fashion Nova. I'm not doing that. People tell me, oh, it's a red carpet, but it ain't like the Oscars, so why she got on that gown? Because it is the Oscars.
Right.
BET Awards, Soul Train Awards, all of that, that is Black people's Oscars.
It is.
You have to understand, if your client is a star, she has a brand.
That's right.
So if she looks like everybody, so she looks like everybody else, she's watered down. She's generic. And I don't do basic bitches. I don't work with basic bitches. So I'm not having a basic bitch. Like wearing a bodycon and a Fashion Nova dress. I'm not trying, my clients can't be trendy. If they want to be trendy, and I literally told a client, you can wear it, don't tag me in it. Don't put my name on it. Period. I'm not doing it because for me, my end goal was Emmys, Oscars.
Right.
Those are the things that I wanted to do in my career, that I knew I wanted to do in my career when I came into this game. So I dress my clients that I get according to what's going to get me there. See, people are so busy trying to be liked and trying to focus on getting 100,000 followers on Instagram that don't put money in their pocket. They don't think. So if I'm building my brand and I'm trying to go to the Emmys, which I actually have done, and I did and slayed the whole thing, the whole weekend, me and Ashley. But those were my goals. So the type of women that go to those things, the type of women that get invited to those things, don't look like thoughts.
They don't.
They're not backing it up every time you turn around. They're not. They might buy a one-off Fashion Nova dress every now and then, but that closet ain't filled with Fashion Nova. So if I want to get there, my styling had to reflect that. And my styling has always reflected that. But because I built my brand on that, I've done the Emmys. I've done the Monte Carlo Press Week, TV Press Week.
Yeah.
I've worked with icons like Anita Baker, Lynn Whitfield, Toni Braxton, Raven Simone. I've worked with these people because my brand set a tone. I knew what my brand was, and regardless if somebody wanted to work with me or not, it didn't matter. I knew where I was going. I knew what my vision for me was. I had a point for my brand. So
like you said, you got the vision, you got the preparation, you got the research, and then you were patient with it too. You realized it had to grow on its own. And but I'm not gonna lie, I got frustrated, and I had a real breakdown moment. Listen, patience is, like my grandma said, she said, patience is a muscle. Oh yeah, I don't have none. Working out that muscle,
I don't have none.
Like you said,
I don't have no patience.
Like,
I tell you, my patience is so short. But at that moment that I was in the shower one day and I had a breakdown. I literally just bust out crying. I could not figure out why I wasn't as big as everybody else. And let's be real, I slay fucking fashion. Let's just call a spade a spade.
A spade, right? Let's do it.
Ain't too many girls in Atlanta, stylists, boys, whatever you want to call yourself, that can do what I do. And I'm just going to pat myself on the back for that one. But I had to realize what God has for me is for me. And when he feels like I'm ready, I'll get to that point. So from that moment on, I decided to stop worrying, stop trying to figure out why I'm not here, and literally learn to walk in my purpose. So I learned what my purpose was, and what I thought my purpose was is not what my purpose is. To me, my purpose was to be the next Rachel Zoe, the next June Ambrose. That's not my purpose. God has something bigger for me. God wants me to take what nobody would teach me, and I've been able to learn and build and give that to the next.
You definitely give to the next. One thing I will say about you is that you are a very giving person, and I'm somebody that you definitely give a lot to. And I personally thank you for everything that you've done and showed me. I always tell people, I say, I wasn't a drag queen yet. I was just a boy in a drag. And Julian came and said, here's your gown, here's your shoes, here's your wig. Get your ass out here and stunt.
The fairy godfather. But no, I feel like, let's be real. I created Control. I was working at Cheesecake Factory when I launched Control magazine. I was a waiter. I created Control because my best friends that were around me were dope as fuck. But nobody knew them. Nobody gave them an opportunity. Nobody would give them a chance. And to me, that was dumb. Like, my best friend died before people knew his name. But he was one of the coldest fashion designers out. Like, amazing. Bridal, gowns, hats, whatever. But all these people were around me and nobody knew our name. So when I built Control, it was literally for them and me, and to give them a platform to do what they wanted to do. And anybody who comes to Control, that's what it's for. Control may not be able to do X, Y, Z, what Rolling Out is doing, or Upscale is doing, or Sheen, or anybody else. But one thing that Control does do is give you a vessel to whatever your dream is to allow you to make that dream come true at some point.
Amen.
It's here for you to literally learn and grow. I don't know no other magazine that you can go to and you ain't been no fashion editor and become a fashion editor.
Right.
If that's your dream, let's make it happen.
Let's do it.
Because nobody taught me how to be an editor of a magazine. Nobody taught me. I asked the editor of a magazine at one point to mentor me, and she told me no. So guess what? Barnes & Noble told me yes. Devil Wears Prada told me yes 20 times so far. The Bold Type told me yes. So I watched, I educated myself, I learned. And I taught myself how to be an editor. I'm teaching myself every day how to be an editor, how to be a stylist, how to do everything that I'm doing. I make it a point to literally educate myself every day, learn something new every day, because that's the only way you're going to grow. That's the only way you're going to build. You have to remember, we're trying to build businesses and brands. Our parents, 9 times out of 10, our parents didn't have that. They worked for somebody else.
That's what mine
nobody
was.
Teaching them this stuff.
We're the first generation to do it.
We're the first generation to do this. So if we're going to do this, let's do this right. I'm quick to say and tell people, yeah, you may see me going off on you by not having a website and this and that, but guess what? I made the same mistakes. I'm trying to help you not make those mistakes. I have a little cousin who is 18 years old who hit me up 3 months ago and was like, I want to launch a boutique. Cool, not a problem. I'm going to help you launch your boutique. But we're not doing it that way. We're going to do it the right way because you're 18. So I'm going to show you how to do this at 18. I'm going to set you up so that by the time you're 25 and even 30, if you choose to retire, You can. But you ain't never got to work for nobody else. You're going to have your own company, and you finna run this as a CEO. Because what they didn't teach me, guess what I'm going to teach you?
He got the benefit of you, and it's amazing.
Your brothers and your sisters.
Yeah.
Your children, how to
you want the next generation to be better than the generation that's here. And I love that. I tell people all the time, that's your legacy. Your wealth is the generation after you being better than the one that was before it. If everybody is thinking the same or they going down, y'all ain't doing something right. It's all
gotta
wrong.
Want to leave something behind more than an OnlyFans page. You gotta want to leave something behind more than just some photos on Snapchat and Instagram. Like you gotta want more. You gotta want more for your life, for your personal life. You gotta want more for your. If you're actually trying to really have a business, you gotta grow that. And people have to understand, entrepreneur. That means you are everything. That means you are janitor. That means you are maintenance. That means you are PR. That means you are cashier. That means you are stock. You are everything. Guess what? Because it's your business. You literally should know every part of your business, because if something happens and somebody does something wrong, you got to fix that shit.
Step right up and be able to do it. Okay.
And
can't do
guess
it.
what?
Damn, I got it.
Don't nobody care. It's your business. It is your business. It ain't your intern's business. It ain't your assistant's business. It's yours. So when they fuck up, you fuck up. Trust me. Control writers used to fuck up all the time. And I got my ass chewed out on a daily from publicists. But guess what? I could suck it up and fix the problem, because it was my business.
Right. It was all a reflection of you.
Either fixing a phone, and I don't believe in failure. I don't believe in failure, and I don't believe in giving up. There's no such thing as failure.
That's what we're trying to do.
Yeah, I mean, but people get scared about trying to launch these businesses and, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Stop talking about it and do it. It ain't got to be perfect. The fact that you got up and you actually did something, you succeeded. You won. There is no such thing as failure. No, you may didn't get to where you wanted to get at that moment, but guess what? You're still here. So that means you can dust yourself off and try again. You just keep going.
I love that. I want y'all to understand that Julian gives me these very, he'll give me pep talks, and they be harsh pep talks. I'm like, wait a minute, hold on.
Braining the hell out of me.
But yeah, my brain to be like,
no, he does.
He right? You know he right. So get your ass over here. Stay home tonight. You chilling. Edit this. Get this up. Learn how to make these flyers. Book these people, and move forward. Because the work, and I love how people tell me, they say, well, Mike, you know, your work speaks for itself. It speaks for itself because I have people to teach me that your work got to speak for itself. People can say whatever they want to say about you. But when people
who cares? Who cares?
Michael's work speaks for itself.
People talk about Jesus Christ. They're going to talk about you. Who gives a fuck? Let them talk. That don't mean nothing. You can't pay no bills with that. Wells Fargo don't take that. Chase don't take that. Bank of America don't take that. So that shit don't matter. Let people talk. People talk about me on a daily basis. I don't care. They can do nothing.
I love that.
Listen, all that talking should be nothing to make you want to go out here and do even better.
Right. Andrea Young, the stylist, says, have faith in your product and yourself. Yes, Andrea.
There you go. You literally have to. And it requires sacrifice. You're going to lose some friends. I've had friends that I was friends with for 20 years longer. We're not friends anymore. That's okay. That don't bother me. It may get in the beginning, but I learned that journey is over. I have literally changed. I'm no longer doing this. So I no longer can be associated with this.
You evolve.
I'm trying to go to bigger heights. I'm trying to do bigger things. So you can't go with me. People get mad when you say you can't sit with me. You can't sit with us. Sorry,
you can't sit with
everybody can't sit with us. That ain't listen, I'm sorry, sis. It don't work. But you're gonna be out here building a business, and you're saying, "Oh, I do fashion." Well, I'm gonna need you to go look at some fashion, and I ain't talking about just Instagram. I'm gonna need you to go buy some fashion books, sign up on some fashion websites,
get some books.
There's a whole council for fashion.
It is.
And what these people out here talk about is fashion. The council didn't approve that.
At all.
So guess what? It don't work.
At all.
You cannot reinvent the wheel. God has already told y'all there is nothing new under the sun. Stop it. There is nothing new under the sun. Everything repeats itself. Trust in one form or another. Tina Turner, Beyonce. Michael Jackson, Usher, Chris Brown. It repeats itself.
It
and
does.
people have to understand too, though, you're building a business. Leave your emotions, leave your personal at the door at home, because nobody cares. I don't care about your feelings. I don't care that you are sad, that you're crying, you're mad, you're happy, you're glad. Guess what? Don't care. Feelings have no place in business. Your feelings do not matter. So like I have artists that will come to me, oh, I need a manager, I want you to help me. You want me to help you grow your brand. Number one, you ain't doing the number one basic thing that y'all should be doing. All artists be like, oh, I don't want to sing cover. You're a dummy. You're a dummy. I don't give a fuck what you want to do. You're trying to be a star. You're trying to get noticed. How do people get noticed? Singing covers.
Singing covers.
Because don't nobody know that song you over there singing.
At all.
But they know Jill Scott. But they know Beyonce. They know Fantasia. They know Brandy, Kelly Rowland. If you can hit those notes, you sing like them to make them notice. And then you introduce them to your music.
Right. That's how you do it.
That's how you do it. You have, but people also be like, I had an artist come to me to help him with his brand. And I ain't gonna lie to you. I tell artists the truth when I hear their music.
Yes, you do.
I don't see it for you. I don't see it for you. But this artist came to me, young guy. Shit was cold. Amazing. Like, everything is, the music, the vocals, it was like he gave me 90s mixed with 2020, like, but it was it was a little bit of everything. The music was phenomenal. But you know why he won't push the project? He tired of singing that song. Don't nobody care. Don't nobody give up. When you're trying to be a star, when you're trying to build a business, understand, don't nobody care what you want. Don't nobody care what you want. It's what the consumer wants. And if the consumer wants to hear the song, you sing that bitch until it's done.
Until it's done. Until their ears fall off.
You push that product out. And if it's still selling, you push it until it's done. Absolutely. I have actors. People tell me, oh, Beyonce messed up the Lion King movie. Disney didn't give a fuck. Not one. They put Beyonce in Lion King or whatever it was, literally because she's Beyonce.
Absolutely.
They knew putting her in that movie, whether she can act, she can't act, she talked through the whole movie, she talked too much, whatever. They knew once we put her name in lights, this bitch gonna be packed out.
Right.
And
the Beehive support that.
What was it? Packed out.
Absolutely.
They made their money back for what they spent on the movie times 10.
Absolutely.
It's a business. We don't support our people's business, so their businesses flop. People always say, well, why does artists never come out with another album? Because you bought that bootleg CD in the barbershop. So guess what? They got dropped from their label because you didn't buy the album. You bought the bootleg DVD.
Yeah.
You bought the bootleg DVD. So guess what? We didn't get a 10th season of Girlfriends. Girlfriends didn't pop off like Sex in the City. Guess why? Because you didn't watch it. Now you got the DVD box and we girlfriends all. It's too late.
Way too late.
This is why all of these people don't pop. You don't support them. You're not pushing them. You're not helping them. You have to support people for people to do more. You can sit here and say, oh, I love this show. I wish they'd come back with another season. Well, y'all ain't doing enough watching. Because if you were watching the show that you love, they would not drop it. The game came back how many times? Like,
oh my God.
It's coming back again.
3 reboot.
3 reboots. They watch the game. The game has fans.
It does.
So guess what? They're gonna bring it back. They don't give a fuck. They can drop that bitch 10 times, and if they still ask for it, they're gonna bring that whole back.
They're gonna have Tasha
If it makes money, it makes sense.
It does. That's why
it's
they
just
bring
like
stuff
what
back.
actors tell me. It's just like what actors tell me. It's about the craft. It ain't about. I'm not doing social media. You know the what? So you know you're not gonna eat tomorrow, right? You're not gonna eat tomorrow because you don't want to do social media. Don't make a fuck about the craft. This ain't 1999. Social media matters. That's why girls who got thousands and thousands of followers get booked for that part that you can't even go audition for.
Right.
Because guess what? They're gonna tweet, they're gonna promote, they're gonna put seats in the building so that the producers and the network makes money so that they can produce another show. How many damn honeys are there? Listen. How many Fast and the Furious are there?
How many step ups is?
Listen. I like, y'all have to put y'all thinking caps on. This is made for more than just that. I don't know what y'all do with it, but common sense ain't coming no more. You have to think. If you're not supporting the businesses and the brands, they're going to fade. They're going to disappear. But you have to also be a business that people want to come back to. Let me tell you something.
Oh.
I'm going to be real with you. In the past year, I've had 5 weed guys because the service is horrible.
Oh.
I'm not giving my money to nobody, and you ain't got good customer service. I don't care if you're a black business, green business, purple business. If your customer service sucks, you're not getting my point. The white man can have it all day long.
I agree.
But I will support you if you run your business how a business is supposed to be run. But when you want to be ghetto and you want to be loud and you want to be disrespectful, guess what? That's your brand because it's a reflection of you.
Of you. And then you're going to attract people that reflect that brand, and they're going to be ghetto, and they're going to be rude, and they're going to be distasteful and disrespectful to you. And nobody's going to want to work with that type of brand.
But you know why that is? Because they didn't sit down and actually figure out what the brand is and who the customer is. They just said, "Oh, I got a business idea. Go launch me a Facebook page. Go launch me an Instagram page." And guess what? I got a business now. No, you don't. Every artist that is literally spending money to create videos, studio time, and don't have a website, I'm telling you right now, you're a dummy. You're a complete dummy. You ain't got the bare essentials to push your product. You don't deserve to be a star. You don't. Where you gonna sell your merchandise at? On Instagram? On Facebook? But what happens if it closes tomorrow? All your followers gone. You ain't even got their emails to be able to send them and say, "Hey, we're over here now."
Y'all, do basically do what you need to do. What I want to encourage each one of y'all to do is definitely link up with Julian at the Julian Richard Group. Julian, what's your website?
It is JulianRichardGroup.com, and I built it myself. I build it daily, new pages, consistently.
Let me tell y'all need to go on there. You need to hire Julian to help you build your brand, because a lot of the rebranding, I get a lot of messages from y'all saying, I like how your page is looking now, Mike. I like how you carry yourself. I like the stuff that you're talking about. 101 is actually part of the rebranding, something that Julian told me to do. Get in front of people, Michael, talk. You have a voice, use it. It's your
definitely. You have to.
Follow his advice. He's 100% Michael.
We work with good clients. Like, in a year, I have a client in Dubai. We have a trucking company. We have 2 medical billing companies we work with. Like, I'm sorry. I work with everybody.
The HH Diva says she's trying to get a feature in his magazine. Julian's old school, new school. Reminds me of my godfather slash mentor. Hey, girl, DM him.
No, don't DM me. I have a website. Go to my website. Okay. There's a contact page. Okay. Don't jump in my DMs by business. I have a website for that reason. I don't do business on Instagram. I don't do business on Facebook. Everybody want to get mad at me because it takes me a month to check the messages. I'm not looking on there. I am working. I get up my Instagrams and my Facebook posts are preset. I wake up at 8 a.m., roll over, post, roll my blanket back over. If I'm asleep, 9 times out of 10, I'm not. I'm still working on something else. but I'm literally not on social media like that right now. Because social media is not paying me directly. Now, if I know that social media is a part of my brand and I do have to utilize it, but social media is not the be all to the end all. There is way more stuff out there that you could be doing to build your brand, and half of y'all don't even know it. I can take any business right now that comes to me and tell you 4 new ways to make money that you're not even thinking of. I don't care what the business is.
I feel y'all. Let me tell y'all something. This has been an amazing one-on-one. Julian, thank you for coming on teaching us about branding. Because everything that you say is everything that people need to hear. No gutter, no chaser, straight to it. As Black people, I know we want business. I know we want the money. I know we want to do right. Y'all make sure y'all are following the Julian Richard group, and make sure you're going to julianrichardgroup.com. Get Julian on your
Don't jump in my inbox asking no advice because I'm not giving it.
It's not free. I told y'all that at the beginning of the live. It's not free.
You can't ask me to go to Walmart at this point. I've given 10 years of advice. I'm not doing it. But I do that because if you pay for it, you value it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I value you. Thank you so much for being a great friend, a great mentor, a great brother. Me and you bump heads, but we love each other just as hard. And thank you for your support. Always. You have been a driving and transformative force in my life. And I want you to know
nothing more and nothing less. We are family. We do this together. If I win, you win. Period.
Absolutely.
Working with me, that's how I do. If I win, you win. If I'm moving up, you moving up. Period. Nobody wants to be at the top by themselves. Don't even make sense. Who want to be at the top lonely?
Some super villain somewhere. And you see how that turns out for Lex Luthor and Joker, y'all. It's not a good look.
Listen, I am transparent all day.
And I love you for it. All right, y'all. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Tomorrow's 101 is sexual assault and awareness with Lacey Dawes. She and I are going to discuss our own personal demons with that issue. Y'all tune in. It's going to be a very special episode. Thank you again, Julian. Again, subscribe to my YouTube. See y'all later. I love y'all. It's in the link tree.
Bye, guys.
Peace.